I want to walk you through an extension of enrolling your students into your course, and that is setting up groups for your students. If you are interested in doing this, let me say right here at the beginning, you need to do it before your kids ever even enroll into your Moodle course. So let me walk you through it, and then let me show you the power behind it. And up front, the power behind this is you are going to be able to restrict certain discussion forums. You can see here's a forum that I have set up to an individual, an individual group of kids. And what that means is any student that has enrolled themselves into your third block are going to be the only group of kids that will see this discussion forum. Okay, so it prevents your kids from seeing all of your discussion forums going on with all of your kids and all of your courses. It restricts them to what it is that you only want them to see. Here's how you do this. If we go to settings and then users and groups, you start to set up your individual groups for your course. And don't make this too tricky. Just go ahead and assign it according to the block or the hour or the course that you teach. So to do, you can see I've done a couple. To do this, you're just going to click the Create Group button. It's about the fourth one down, and I'm going to give my group a title. And I'm going to call this my fifth block. The important thing here is to give it a unique enrollment key, something that's different from all of your other blocks. So I'm going to check the unmasked box, and for the sake of my example, I'm going to call this block 5. This is case specific, and it's also space specific. So if you put a space between your block and your 5, your kids have to as well. So I'm just going to leave it like that. I'm going to save my changes and get back to my groups. Now the second step of this is to make a grouping. So let's click on the Grouping tab, because this is where it is that you are going to be able to identify the groups of kids that you want restricted to certain activities on your Moodle. So I'm going to go to Groupings. I'm going to create a grouping. And again, don't get too tricky with this. I'm just going to call this fifth block and save my changes. Now when I get back to my groupings format, I'm going to find that fifth block that I just made. I'm going to scroll over and I'm going to click that I want to add my groups to it. So I need to click the little icon that will show my groups. So I'm about to put groups into this grouping. Here's my fifth block group. I'm going to select it and add it, and then I'm going to click back to my groupings. You'll go through and do that for all of the groupings that you have developed. But let me show you why this is important. I'm going to go back to my course homepage, and I am going to put a forum under one of my topics. And I'll call this forum, let's see. I'm just going to give it a name, and then I copied something that I wanted to put in there just for the sake of time. So there's my forum prompt. I'm going to scroll down now to this box of common module settings. And it's possible you might need to click the Show Advanced button on here. Once you get all of your options showing, there is a grouping drop-down menu. And here's where you start to restrict who it is that you want to see this discussion forum that you're developing. So in staying with my fifth block, I'm just going to select my fifth block grouping, and you have to check that you only want this available for those group members only. This is what it is that's going to restrict this, so that not every single kid that enrolls into your course is going to be able to see it. So I'm going to scroll down to the bottom. I'm going to save and return to the course. And now when we look at this discussion forum under my westward expansion topic, you can see that that fifth block is now in parentheses. So that's how I know that it is just those kids that will be able to see this particular discussion forum. Now, if this is a forum that you really are going to use in all of your courses, just click this little ×2 editing icon because it will duplicate that discussion forum. It asks if you're sure you want to, and I'm just going to click continue. And then it will ask you, do you want to edit it? Well, yeah, go ahead and dive right in and edit it at this point. Keep the forum name the same, keep the prompt the same. We're just going to scroll down and we're going to change which grouping we give rights to. So now maybe I'll go back and I'll go ahead and add the rest of my other groupings. So I've selected my first block. I'm going to save and return to the course. And now you have 2 discussion forums that are identical with the exception of the kids that are going to be able to get in and have access to those forums. When your kids log in, they're only going to see the one discussion forum that they have access to. Your view, of course, will have 4 or 5, depending on how many blocks you're going to use this discussion forum with. So I hope that makes sense. Please let me know if it doesn't. Again, you need to set this up initially, from the beginning, if you think you might ever even be interested in using it. Let me know if you have questions.